Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, one of the questions I've been getting quite a bit in the last week is for an update on the RT Diorama tank factory that I am building. And as you can see by the picture in front of you, I've completed quite a bit more of the construction on it. Some light poles, the main building, piping, things like that. There is still much more to do. I have a lot more weathering to do on it, a lot of vehicles to put inside, as well as some more structures. And I'm still thinking about heading to the right there a little bit by adding some more buildings and stuff to it to enlarge this diorama even bigger. But that's a little ways down the road. So that's what this video is going to be today. It's going to be a short one. I'm going to show you inside and out all of the progress that I have done on here. There are some of the interiors starting to form inside these buildings, but thought it'd be a great opportunity to share that with you today. Also, I've got some other exciting news. AndysHHQ.com will be carrying the majority of RT Diorama on our website very soon. We just placed a super large order with the company. They're going to produce it for us. All the little accessories, lots and lots of the diorama buildings, all kinds of stuff are going to get added very soon to the website. It is going to probably take about a month and a half from the filming of this video because all of it has to come by sea freight because it's very heavy stuff when you start adding it all together because those buildings really add up in weight. But keep an eye on our website. We will be adding that all in very soon. I'll be excited to share that with you. And now I think we should take a look at how this diorama is going together. So let's get started. There we are, guys. Here is the update on the giant German factory, World War II factory, I should call it. And to start off with, I'll just explain some of the things that I've done, and then we'll zoom in on some areas and show you what they look like so far. Now, as you can see right off, I've gone ahead and painted the main building here in the front. This was the one that I accidentally broke. And thank you to RT Diorama for getting out the pieces that I needed to replace that. Plus also, we have things on there like the exhaust vents, all the extra lighting, as you see in the courtyard here, plus a lot of electrical poles. Now, I do plan on putting on wiring on all that, but definitely don't want to do that now until we're closer to the end, or I'd be knocking wiring off all the time. But all of this stuff, like the lighting, the buildings, all of that has been glued into place. The only thing I haven't glued into place yet is the smokestack over in the corner, and that is just kind of waiting to the very end. It's a lot easier moving this around without that on there. But once I glue it on. Plus also I've taken in the corner down there, you see the blue piping. We created a valve system that's coming in and out with a cap on the other end just to kind of break that up. Plus also, okay, I'm zooming in a little bit closer on this side to show you some of the things that I've done in here. So initially I had that as a downspout. A few of you didn't like that idea too much based on the way it was going to look. So what I've done is I cut the bottom off and we've returned it like into the building, so it's like basically like a pipe carrying either water or wire, something like that. Then I've gone ahead and created another pipe right here that comes down, and then you see it has a flange on the end and it just plows directly into the building. So that could either be for wiring or water. Plus now you have a closer look at the definite water. That's why I've painted this one blue, to signify that it's not steam or hot water or anything else like that. So there's a valve on here for turning it off, and then just also put an end cap on here. I always thought those looked kind of cool. In future use, we would have the ability to do that. Also have created the light fixture overhanging this portion of the building here, and then of course you can see a little bit more close up. Now these have not been painted yet. All of these ceramic pieces up on the top there are going to get painted white, and I'll be doing all that once I get the wiring, and that is true on the light fixture here as well as the light fixture over there. And then as we kind of pan a little bit here, these will all be painted as well. The bases were painted enough, so I thought it's good enough that I can put it into place and not have to worry about damaging anything on it there. So let's take a look now at the other little building. Okay, now I'm giving you a little bit of an eye level view of the first building. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to zoom in, and hopefully you can see all of the detail that we're putting in on the little workbench with the drill press, the propaganda posters up on the wall, and then the guy working on the little thing there. He's just going to be one of many figures that I plan on putting into this. We want to have quite a bit of life going on inside this diorama. And of course, we're still doing more and more weathering of like the posts, things like that. So we got lots more to do on that part. And now we are taking a look at our main factory building, and wanted to point out a few things that I've added into that. First of all, the main thing is I've gone ahead and put the dirty, stained, old-looking glass into the fronts of it, at least the front 4 windows in there, and you can see some of the yellow staining on it. I think it adds a lot of detail to it. Also, I've painted and weathered the front doors for this building. They are shut right now. They're not glued into place. I do plan on having them open. It just, until you actually glue them into place, they want to fall over pretty easily. Whereas if you just leave them closed like that, they stay nice like that. And it gives you an idea what the building's going to look like. Also, if you take a close look in through this area, in through here, hopefully you can see the truss members, or the trusses that go across inside that building. I've just started to do some work on the inside of that building, and I decided to have the trusses going from side to side like that, with a little bit of platform on either side. We'll explain to you more of that as we get down the road with adding like the turret crane, or actually even a crane in general. I'm kind of leaning to doing the Panzer I, doing the Henschel factory in the late 30s, doing the Panzer I. The Panzer I's a very small vehicle, and we can easily have one going in and out of those doors. Kind of makes a lot of sense. Not 100% sold on that yet, but it's kind of leaning towards that right now. So, but I wanted to give you an idea of what the front end of the building. Also, you can see a little bit better the piping that I've included. So I've added the piping that runs all around the front of this building. And actually, I'll pan a little bit. Added the supports for it, and then did all the piping. And then lastly, I just turned it into that building over there and put a flange on the outside of the building and just have the pipe running directly into that. I think it adds a lot of detail. I do want to do some more piping and stuff in the corner behind behind this building here, and closer into the pipes that would lead into the smokestack for like the boiler area. And real quickly, I'm just going to show you the inside so far of the main building, how I've started to put the trusses in. And you might notice this half truss right here, because that is the angle as the diorama stops. That's where that truss would end. I did just square it off. It was a lot easier to cut that way. I do have to go in and paint the rest of the trusses, and I'm not quite sure what else we're going to put inside there. And I know that's not how originally the trusses were designed. They were designed to carry the roof, but this is not really going to be open to the public right here, the back of this. It's going to be basically, once those front doors open, what you'll be able to see inside, as well as the windows. So I want to be able to see some of the stuff inside as you look through the windows. But like I said, the average person is not going to get to the back of the diorama here to see all of that. And all I've done is just paint the very backs of these black, just to kind of finish it off. But still have a lot more work to go on inside that building. Now I'm adding a little bit more weathering to the base of the model now that it's been glued down. And you'll notice down here in the corner, we have like this little slimy type green. You know, when you get water that's been standing, or water that's been dripping off of things, sometimes like mold and things start to grow on that there. So we are using the Ammo by MIG. Let me get that to focus. Slimy green dark, and very, very, very lightly. We don't want to put too much of that on there. So just take our brush, and I've already started to apply it to the actual lower bricks, but we also want a little bit of that green sliminess to be on the concrete, because you'd imagine it dripping off and forming on there. I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way in here too. And that'll be true especially around over here, where we've created the water pipe. So we've painted that water pipe blue, and we're going to use a little bit of that green sliminess around here, water dripping. And then of course as it dries, it'll dry a little bit lighter, and we can kind of fan it out a little bit too. Now I'm also panning back a little bit, and we're going to do just a slight little amount of that on our fence as well. And that is going to be a base as we put down some more debris, like some leaves, things like that. You can imagine blowing through some more dirt and things like that. And I don't want it too uniform. I don't want to completely do the entire bottom, but just in little areas. And we'll also do it over on the... This is mostly going to get covered up by the guard shack, but we do want to put a little bit of it there as well. I also want to add a little bit of foliage just around the edges right here. Some, leaves and stuff that have just blown in from around. And I'm using RT Diorama's ground foliage. It's just an autumn color, which works good for dried up leaves. And what we can do is we can just place it into effect here. Use a little bit of white glue, and I'll just form it all around in there. A little watered down white glue, and we'll be able to put some of that in there. Look like leaves and stuff have been blowing around and getting trapped in the corners of some of the fence area. Well, there you go, guys. There is a quick little update on what I have done so far. Next up, I am going to build the checkpoint that will go out in front of the gate here. I will start working on some more figures as well. I just built that one figure to go inside there. Gives a good idea to give you a sense of scale, how large these buildings actually would be, especially next to a little 35th scale guy. Definitely are massive buildings for this diorama. And we'll start doing some more weathering, more things like that. I am also going to build the trailer that will go behind this tractor here, towing around boxes of stuff. We'll open up the front doors on that main building there and start working on the inside, and then probably going to build up one of the Takom Panzer 1s and just see how it goes into this diorama and see how it's starting to look. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you as always for watching, and please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.